Barron Trump is in the news because he's doing what all Trumps do, stealing money from people who need it. He allegedly stole millions of dollars from an inside trade because his dad told him about the tariffs before anyone else. And all has to do with crypto. He's also now part of this TikTok deal I'm going to tell you about. And we also now know that Donald Trump is just telling his rich buddies out in the open while on camera that, hey, I'm working for you, not for anyone else. Kai Trump accidentally exposed him on our YouTube channel. And here's this.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Your taxes are coming down. See, everyone's happy, honey.
That's awesome.
We've done a good job. Yeah, we'll run through the 9 holes.
Okay. First off, that does not seem like a very loving grandfather, does it? I mean, he doesn't really just seem have much of a relationship with her at all. Let's watch that one more time. I think that's really telling.
We've done a good job. Yeah, we'll run through the 9 holes.
Okay, and so as Brett Meisler says here, this tool actually posted a video of Trump bragging to his rich buddies that he's lowering their taxes. Because the only people whose taxes are going down are the very wealthy. Because as you know, tariffs are a tax on all of us, and that's higher than ever. By the way, Kai Trump, who posted this on our YouTube channel, 1.27 million subscribers. I feel like we could beat that. We're almost at 1 million. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Let's try to beat Kai Trump. Let's get to 1 million, and then let's try to lap her. And tariffs apparently are a way for Donald Trump's buddies and his family to make money because he can announce something that's going to crash the market and he can tip people off ahead of time. That's what happened. Donald Trump's also just, he's just, I guess, doesn't really understand how laptops work because watch this.
But is Barron's aptitude, in your view, business or politics?
Maybe technology. He can look at a computer. I tried turning off his car, turn it off. I turn off his laptop. I said, oh, good. And I go back 5 minutes later, he's got his laptop. I said, how'd you do that? None of your business, Dad. No, he's got an unbelievable aptitude in technology.
Oh, my God. Barron can turn his laptop on and off. He's got an unbelievable aptitude for technology. Incredible. Well, that makes sense then. Now we know why Barron Trump is tied to this TikTok deal. Because he can turn a laptop on and off, not because he's connected to the president of the United States, right? Of course not. We're learning now that Barron Trump is going to be potentially on the board, a 19-year-old son of the president, on the board of TikTok, the now potentially U.S.-owned company. Here's a little bit on that. Barron Trump is being eyed for a top role at the streaming app TikTok. U.S. president's sons could be appointed to the board of the $14 billion company. It was suggested after his father sealed a deal to spin off TikTok's U.S. business from its Chinese parent. Barron's potential role was pitched by Jake Advent, Donald Trump's former social media manager. And he goes on to say here, quote, I'm hopeful President Trump will consider appointing his son Barron and maybe other young Americans to TikTok's board to help ensure it remains an app young people want to keep using. Now, a little bit about this deal. Now, if you're on TikTok, it is very important that you're aware of what's happening because Donald Trump's allies, just like they're doing with all of the mainstream media companies like CBS, CNN, Donald Trump's buddies are now tied to TikTok. And so if you're on there, be aware that your algorithm very might well change and the White House could start controlling what you see. As it says here, TikTok is an opportunity for President Donald Trump to bestow great wealth and considerable media power on a clique of allies and insiders. The details of this gift are taking shape out of the public eye. By the time the specifics become available, it will likely be too late to change them. It says here, what has been released should alarm anyone concerned about this administration's drive to consolidate wealth and media power in the hands of a loyal few. So here are a little bit about who the buyers are. TikTok's U.S. business is not being auctioned to the highest bidder. Trump has casually thrown out the names of people he might invite to make this investment, such as media moguls Rupert Murdoch and his son, Oracle's Larry Ellison, and Dell's Michael Dell. But he's yet to make public the complete roster of the purchasing group. The main criterion for inclusion seems to be fealty to Trump. Makes it feel great about using the app, right? Now, it goes on to say how the Trump administration could control TikTok. Reports on the murky TikTok deal suggest that investors will also be expected to pay a multi-billion-dollar fee to the U.S. government, the latest in a series of Trump administration deals that demand payments from the private sector. Depending on how this fee is extracted, it could put yet more power into Trump's hands. The administration might go easy on investors by backloading fee payments or squeeze them by accelerating payment demands. However, the fee is structured, its burden threatens to grant Trump yet more personal influence over the future of TikTok in the US. And by the way, the whole point of TikTok being banned was because they were afraid of China's control over media that Americans consume. But according to what's been made public, TikTok's Chinese parent company will continue to own 20% of the venture. And apparently, according to this, curious detail about the Trump deal is that it seems to make no substantive changes to the way that users' data will be collected and stored. So it doesn't change anything other than the fact that Donald Trump and his buddies have more control over it, but China still has access to our data. How's that? So he's actually just made it worse. So again, if you're on TikTok, just be aware that it very well could start turning into right-wing propaganda, not unlike what happened to Twitter when Elon Musk bought it. So I'm not going to say get off the app, but just be super aware of what you're consuming and try to be aware of any changes you see. Now, as I said, Barron Trump. So here's what happened. An insider placed trades 30 minutes before Trump's tariff announcement and walked away with $192 million in profits. People are alleging that this is Barron Trump. Someone said here, when you find out, they know it is you who shorted to make $80 million a minute before the tariff news. Now, it very well could be Barron Trump's has a smaller net worth than the rest of his family. Barron Trump's net worth is estimated to be around $150 million. Not so bad for 19, but that is much smaller than his siblings. Don Jr. is reported half a billion. Eric is worth more than 70 million. All mainly from crypto. And that is also how much of Barron Trump's net worth is estimated to be around $150 million, according to Forbes, because of the World Liberty Financial, a cryptocurrency company that he founded alongside his father and brother, Donald Jr. and Eric, before the 2024 election. So Barron Trump, who can open his laptop, gives him the right to be on one of the most powerful boards in the world. He's likely getting inside information from his father so he can make more money at the expense of you and me. And he also is just telling his rich buddies, but he's saving them money while we all have to pay more. How nice is that? So nice. So thanks for being here. If you like this video, please hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.